Okay, I don't know how well this is going to go with Beetlejuice on and my other son playing his drum. We'll see. Okay, here's my theory. You know how you've seen like this going back and forth business, and then there is actually a movie where Jon Stewart explains that exact same phenomenon in a movie. I wish I could remember what it was. If I can, I'm going to send you the, what's that thing called? A clip from it. Come here. Say hi to Mr. Gambler. All right, Mr. Bubbler. All right, so here's my thing. I think, just one moment, one moment, please. No pull Mama's fingers. That people, women will meet, I don't know if this happens to men, women will meet a real jerk right before they meet the perfect one, and everything goes wrong with that person, okay? And everything that they hate about a person will be exactly the way that that person is before they meet the opposite one. And yes, it can happen that, you know, they make the other one guilty for the sins of the previous. And yes, they have to spend all that time, like, weeding through the, you know, the gate around their heart anymore that's built. But, you know, it's kind of like the one who shows up for the job gets hired. And what I mean by that is, in, not so much factory work, but like, I don't know, I've seen that in construction, where if you show up, you'll get the job. Like, and it isn't whether you've got the skills for it, it's just that you're there, and you're a body, and you'll work. And I think there's something to that with marriage, or being there at the right time. If you're there and you're constantly there, you kind of get into their head, and then they get the idea for themselves that they like you being there. And I've seen that happen before. And definitely it happened to me, so I have to say that. But it just seems to me like everything that you don't want in an individual is present in that person that you meet right before you meet the perfect person for you, if there is such a thing. And then I have another calculation that I've also sort of watched happen. That if people are close, people who are in a couple are close to having a baby, or thinking about having a baby, the subject will come up once or twice. And then there are a couple of elements that come together. Can you turn that down? I can't stand this noise of the Beetlejuice. A couple of things will happen. One is there will be a plant, and then there will be a pet. And then here's the crucial step. So if this is coming into your world and you don't want the baby, make sure this doesn't happen in your life. A relative comes to visit. And when that relative comes to visit, that's when she gets pregnant. Now, I'll give you 2 examples of this. It happened with me. One time I was the relative, one time I was the pregnant one. When I lived in Alaska, I had the plant, I had the 2 dogs, and I was living with my husband. I was 26 at the time. Both of my brothers in succession came to stay with us. Yeah, I was pregnant by that summer, okay? And I had been infertile for over 10 years, okay? Then, with the second pregnancy, with Zev, that one who just turned down, I had to go and stay with Gary's sister because he was in Saudi Arabia, and I wasn't going to be chasing around, you know, the oldest while I was in Guam. I was on Guam, pregnant. So when I got on Guam, chasing around a 2.5-year-old trying to have another baby. So I went to go stay with her and her husband and her 2 dogs. She got another one, too, while I was there that summer. They didn't have any kids. And I was the relative that came to stay. And by the end of the summer, she was pregnant. And I have seen that happen a lot of times. So if there's ever any possibility for a relative to come into the situation, but there has to be an animal and a plant first, And y'all have to be under the same household. And it can't just be a visit. They have to be living there. That's how she gets pregnant. And I don't know why that works. And I've talked to other people about this too. And yes, it happened to them too. So, that's the only other thing. You meet the guy you don't want, then you meet the one you want. And the other one is how you, yeah, get a baby. All right. Talk to you later. And oh, our Pearls Before Swine thing. I hope we can talk that out. I don't know how much I'm going to be on tomorrow morning because I teach. But thanks so much. It's always so great to talk with you. Really appreciate it. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye, Gambler.